aggregators. I'm going to just in fact, have our panelists on stage here. But if I could ask all our guests to please be seated. Those who have stepped out, please have a seat. Just in a few minutes, we're going to begin this session. All right, let me introduce Pavan Guntupalli, who's a co-founder of Rapido. If I could have you on stage, Pavan. Big round of applause, please. So, Pavan, we believe, has had his luck with, not had his luck with multiple startups, and finally Rapido came and really changed the face of mobility in the country. I'm going to be your moderator, Pavan. I'm just coming up. Sure. Hi, pleasure to have you here with us at the India Today Roundtable. Pavan, tell us your story. I just heard that you have initiated multiple startups and finally came up with Rapido. And we believe that after multiple companies came up with ideas of bike taxis, all of them failed. You managed to keep Rapido not just to survive, but also thrive in this climate. Yeah. How do you do that?
So I'll just give a quick background of this story. One of the cornerstones for which I've started my entrepreneurial journey is to create impact. Like, people start for fame, money, impact, and multiple reasons. My reason was impact. And my previous business, which was aggregating trucks, we were raking in great revenues, close to 6 crores annually. But we started seeing that we weren't touching a lot of lives. And for me, if there's something called legacy, it is impacting lives. I have been personally inspired by Dhirubhai Ambani, who said, I'll put a 500 rupees phone in every farmer's hand. And people called him crazy, but so he did. That is my base. So I wanted to do something that can impact not just millions, but hundreds of millions of people. And then I started my hand with Rapido. The one thing different with which we have approached Rapido while all the other competitors didn't is, our base was, we wanted to make sure that this opportunity is accessible to anybody and everybody in the country who has a bike and time.
Right.
Whereas the rest of the people who wanted to take a shot at bike taxi, they just wanted to create a business. They just wanted to put some vehicles by themselves, either owned or whatever it is, and just run a business. However, for me, I realized the true impact of bike taxi is decentralization of jobs.
Right.
Which is one of the major problems that this country is facing as of now. As of today, if anybody in a small tier town, now we are all sitting in Bangalore and Delhi's of the country and talking about the economy, the situation and everything. But think about something in Mysore, Hubli, or even Patiala. In these cities, the access to opportunity itself is not there. Forget competition. The access to opportunity itself is not there. Now, if these guys want a better life, they have no other chance but to migrate to big cities. I've heard Shri Amit ji sort of telling, the metro line is going to go from 7 to 65 to 100 kilometers. But when the migration from other cities is happening so rampantly, the infrastructure just can't keep up. And the way to deal with this situation is create jobs right at their hometown. We call it decentralization of jobs. Take jobs, not bring people to where the jobs are, but take jobs to them. And that is what we have done with Bike Taxi. As of today, we have created almost 60 lakh jobs.
Wow.
Over the course of 8 years. And every year, every month, we are creating 1.5 lakh new jobs.
You know, that's fantastic. So clearly you have a vision here. But Pavan, if you could tell us your challenges on streets. First of all, safety must be a huge concern.
Yes.
There are so many restrictions. In fact, there was a lot of fight against bike taxis itself, which you managed to push through.
Yeah.
So when it comes to safety, how are you instilling that kind of trust among people that Rapido is a safe option, and for women as well?
Yeah. So, couple of things. When we started, like I have said, we just didn't want to build a business. We want to create or establish this category. The funniest part is, India is the home to the largest two-wheelers in the entire world.
Yes.
Right? We are the largest exporter. We have almost
manufacturer
20 crore bikes for 140 crore population people. In a way, you can say that almost every family can have or already has a bike. But we are not using this infrastructure to create a transportation solution. That's funny. And why? Because this perception of bike is not safe.
Yeah.
It's usually not bike is not safe. It's the way you drive a vehicle that determines your safety. However, we did not want to sort of beat around the bush. We said, if people think bike taxi is not safe, I'll tackle it head on. What we started, this was even before any of these other established ride-sharing players came up with ride-sharing insurance. Rapido was the first one to come up with ride-sharing insurance.
Yeah.
If anything happens to you, in case anything happens to you during the ride, it can be a small scratch to whatever it is, the ride is insured. The ride is insured. And not just that, this is just the post-event measure. But precautionarily, what we do is, right from the way your captain, we call our drivers as captains, right from the way right from the way your captain drives to the way he takes a steep turn to the way he does a brake, we track everything. We have a telematics team that is working on it. Every feedback that is being recorded, and any subjective feedback we take from our customer and we sort of immediately act on it.
You know, women's safety, I mean, or rather women trusting a brand like Rapido to sit on a bike. Are you going to be encouraging women riders as well? How does this work?
For me, it's not a matter of encouraging. It's one of my core principles. One of the proudest stories that I usually talk about is this woman called Silam.
Yeah.
She's from Guwahati. She's a single mother. And unfortunately, she lost her husband during COVID. And her kid studies overseas. With limited skills and no options, she has picked up driving and she turned to Rapido. Wow. Now, she is supporting her kid's studies by doing Rapido, and the kid is studying at Cambridge University. For me, these are not just stories. These are aspirations of small town people. And the way I see it, if India wants to become a superpower, I don't think it can just fight with maybe 7 or 10 Bangalores and Delhis of the country. We need people from these small towns. We need people from Coimbatore, Patiala, Salem, Siliguri, all these guys to aim high and then fight.
I mean, you're clocking 1 million rides a day, and that's a feat.
And the most interesting and the best part, 50% of the rides are not in the top 7 cities.
Wow. And where does it come from?
You name these actually come from where our roots come from. My father is from Guntur, and I guess my team's guys come from Haryana mein ek chota sa gaon. We are everywhere there. Right from the northeast corners of the country to the southwest corners of the country.
So, you know, then one would ask, you don't need skill at all. I mean, of course, you need to know how to ride a bike, but that's that.
That's that. Obviously, we have a background verification process, but that is the power of bike taxi that I see. With the penetration of internet in all these small towns, now literally all that guy can do or needs to do is just download the app, go through our background verification process, and he can earn. And the best part, I'll tell you, this is flexible. For me, the biggest constraint has been, which is very different in Western countries, is if a farmer's son wants to help his father in the morning and evening, he should be still able to get a job in the afternoon and night. Or if a mother wants to take care of her kids in the morning and evening, she should be able to have a source of income during the rest of her time. But there are limited opportunities like this in India, and they come with a lot of constraints. But with bike taxi, all you need to have is have a bike and a couple of hours, and you are on your way to financial independence.
So that's what great income for families, small income. Is there growth for a Rapido rider?
Small income. So this is the funny thing. Our captains who are doing almost 4 to 5 hours a day, okay, part time, they earn around 10K. And the guys and the captains who pursue this as a job opportunity, who work around 10 hours a day, they earn up to 25K a month. 25K. And the minimum wage of the country is 12K. So we are not just creating jobs, we are literally improving their quality of life.
You know, Pavan, how are you contributing to the exchequer? I mean, you are creating jobs, you are creating income. What are you giving back to the government, the economy, from your words, in your words?
Yeah. So I'll tell you, I'm sure a lot of people here know this interesting fact. Out of 140 crore population, which is one of the biggest in the world, India has only 8 crore taxpayers. And one of the reason, I believe, is verifiable income. Because we being an online platform, all the 60 lakh people that we have onboarded, we have automatically verified their source of income.
Wow.
Which is close to 10% of the taxpayer base already. And as a bike taxi industry altogether, it's much more than that. And these people, these captains, over the course of past 8 years, they have had earnings of close to 15,000 crores. And these guys are directly contributing to the society and to the tax and the development of the nation. And the platforms themselves, they have, over the course of past few years, they have contributed to 2,000 crores to the revenue of the states and the country.
That's excellent. You've really changed the face of transport in India. A final word from you. Yeah, go on. You wanted to say something.
I was just saying, I don't think we have yet changed the face. The thing is, this is still the tip of the iceberg. And I just need to look to my side, China and Indonesia, where the penetration of bike taxi is around 70-80%. We are currently not even under 10%. We are under 10%. So whatever numbers, whatever impact that we are looking at, it's just the tip of the iceberg.
You've really fought Uber, Ola, apps of such kind to make your way. Even auto rickshaw drivers, we believe, at this point are upset. Rapido is taking away our business. What would you like to tell them?
I guess that's a grave misconception. And the funny part is, now my left eye, if it is bike taxi, my right eye is auto. 50% of our Rapido's GMV comes from auto. But the thing is, see, I'll tell you simply, the moment the fellow Indians stop purchasing a vehicle because they have access to good transportation system.
Yeah.
Or the moment when you take an app or whichever mode and you are able to get a vehicle, I'll stop solving the transportation problem. But that is not the reality. The reality is the population, the economic activity is developing at such a rapid pace, the infrastructure is desperately trying to keep up. So here what we believe is, we are not stealing somebody's pie, we are just catering to the ever increasing demands of the traveling population.
You're contributing to convenience.
Yes.
Right. A final word on the side hustle that many of the Rapido riders do. You know, sometimes you could run into troubled waters. What about that then?
Sorry?
Yeah. You know, a lot of Rapido riders, we believe, have side hustles, you know. Like, yeah. So
I mean, that is the beauty of our story, which is why we don't call them as drivers. They are captains. They have their own social life. They have their social image. I have met some of the most amazing individuals who are driving Rapido.
Right.
These can be software engineers who are working at companies like us, Snapdeal, or these can be people who are HR managers, or these can be ex-retired ex-retired military personnel. And we in Tamil Nadu, we have this initiative that we are already developing across the nation. People who are physically handicapped. This guy Govind, whose SME got wiped out during COVID. Now he is literally using the same vehicle that he used to take to work to make himself financially independent and self-reliant.
Wow.
I just am inspired by the way they go fight through life and fight for their own self-reliance and financial independence, and that gives me a lot of pride.
Fabulous. Thank you very much, Pavan. I think you've inspired us really with your grit and the way you've pursued this concept of a bike taxi. I think Rapido has flourished and the first one to in this space. So all of 31, Pavan there, the co-founder of Rapido, a big round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you
so
for having
much,
me.
Pavan.